In the Oklahoma newsroom, this is an OU update. I'm Jenni Carlson here with Ryan Aber. Ryan, the Sooners have played their share of Big Monday games, but in a weird way, this Big Monday game against Texas tonight at 8 o'clock in Norman is big, not in terms of a 1 versus 2 matchup or a 1 versus 1 for crying out loud. The Sooners have had that on Big Monday, but this is a big game considering what happened Saturday.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They need a bounce back today after losing at Kansas State on Saturday. That was a really difficult game, really the first time where they just sort of fell flat and came out with a loss. Their other 2 losses were on the road in Big Monday games, like you mentioned, at Kansas, at Iowa State, 2 of the toughest places in the country to play and win, 2 very good teams. But they should have, by all rights, beat Kansas State, didn't. And that makes a week that was going to be big anyway even bigger.
Yeah, because Kansas obviously comes to town on Saturday, a much anticipated rematch. But let's talk about now the fallout in the Big 12 standings, because obviously Oklahoma trying to unseed Kansas as that champion. Kansas has won so many consecutive conference titles. West Virginia is now riding at the top with a 3-way tie for second. How does this all sort of shake out, Ryan, as you look at the immediate future of these teams at the top?
Well, I think, first of all, this is a critical week for all of these teams because OU plays Texas. They're able to break a tie for second tonight, Monday night. And then on Tuesday, West Virginia travels to Lawrence to play Kansas, and a team that beat Kansas in Morgantown earlier this season and sort of cemented their place as one of the contenders in the Big 12. And both those teams desperately need a win. Kansas to stick as part of the Big 12 race and not lose further ground, and West Virginia because they want to stay ahead of Oklahoma for sure,
right,
because Oklahoma's already got a game on them, beating them in Norman, and that February 20th showdown in Morgantown looms pretty large.
You know, by the end of business on Tuesday, we could be done with that 3-way tie in second, but we could have a 3-way tie for first. So who knows how that's going to shake out. Lastly, Ryan, for the Sooners, that loss at K-State, 3rd loss in the Big 12, 3rd loss this season for the Sooners. So still an excellent 19-3 resume that they have. Are they still a #1 seed in the NCAA tournament?
Absolutely. There's no doubt about that. I mean, Kansas is still a #1 seed, according to a lot of bracketologists, and certainly their resume is stronger than the Jayhawks at this point. So they're very solidly #1. Now, obviously, they need to perform well down the stretch, especially this week with these 2 big games to keep that spot. But for right now, season ended today, OU would be a #1 seed and likely in Louisville, which is the closest regional destination. They'll start in Oklahoma City regardless. I'm pretty sure about that. Barring just a colossal collapse at the end of the season, they're going to be in Oklahoma City for the first 2 rounds. The question is whether they'll be in Louisville, Chicago, to the closer destinations, or have to go farther away for regionals.
All right, stuff to watch for sure this week. Thanks, Ryan. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.